Alright, so I'm going to show you a quick little mod here that I did on my Miata. This is probably one of the coolest little modifications you can make. It only cost me $5, and it's really going to, I think, help out at the track and for Autocross. So I've got a little switch down here that I put in, and what the switch does is it forces the fan on. So if we turn the key on, fan is off right now. Can hear fan is running, so it overrides the fan relay to force it to be on. And the cool thing about this is it's kind of idiot proof, because in the off position the ECU will still control the fan, so there's no risk of forgetting it. It will still kick on the fan at the normal temperature. This just allows you to manually force it on, and you can't forget and kill your battery, because if you turn off the ignition, it also turns off the fan. So I'm kind of an idiot, so this is great. It makes it idiot proof, and it's really useful at the track or for autocross, because sometimes you just don't want the car to heat soak when you're sitting on the grid or waiting for your turn to run. So it allows you to force the fan on, and then you can shut it off during your run. So just help keep the engine bay temperatures a little lower, and stop the radiator from getting heat soaked. So I'm going to show you really quick how we did this. Now the switch is mounted here, but you can actually mount it anywhere that you want, and it's super easy because it is driving the ground side of the relay, which means you just run one wire to one side of the switch, and then the other side you can just ground to anywhere on the chassis. So I'm actually just picking up a ground underneath the center console there. So anywhere that you want to put it, you can just ground to something on the chassis and it'll work perfectly. And then I'll show you under the engine bay how we wired that in. Alright, so if we take a look here under the engine bay, you can see the diagnostic port here. So if you're not familiar with this, it's very cool. It's got a bunch of labels in here, and you can short out things from the ground pin here. Put a little like paper clip or piece of wire in there, and you can check a number of different things. You can force the fuel pump on, you can force the fan on, you can set the timing, all kinds of things like that. So if you're not familiar, this is a very useful device. And now on here you'll see that there's a pin labeled TFA. That's for the fan actuator, or relay I should say. And so it's the third pin over right here. If you want to do this in the simplest way, you could just stick a wire in here and then run it through the firewall. You can see here, I ran the wire right there through the firewall. Now I did it a little bit cleaner. If you actually pop this connector off, I actually wired it into the harness. If you go that route, it is a black wire with a green stripe on it. But also when you open up the back of this connector, you can just see which one goes to which pin, so it's pretty easy to work out. And then you just run that wire through the firewall inside the car, and then like I said, one side of that goes to the switch, the other side goes to any ground source. And it's great because if the ECU tries to turn it on while you have your manual switch on, it won't short anything out, it won't hurt anything, they'll just be providing it ground twice. So there you have it. Cool little mod that you can do for under $5 for a switch and a piece of wire. Hopefully that'll help you guys out. Thanks for watching.